We tend to navigate the world as if our eyes were camera lenses, providing a direct, objective feed of the environment. But that sense of clarity shatters when you look at how the brain actually processes information. Your brain does not simply record and display the world. It operates as an interpreter, aggressively filtering raw sensory input to create a usable summary rather than a literal transcript. This creates what researchers call the reality gap, the space between the objective physical world and the version your mind constructs for you to experience. On the left is the raw, chaotic data of reality. On the right is the simplified, singular shape your brain presents to your conscious mind. To keep that internal image consistent, the filter actively rejects huge amounts of sensory data. Everything you see, hear, and feel is the result of this heavy-handed editing process. Because your brain is an active editor, the reality you rely on is a curated narrative. This leaves a gap between what is actually happening and what you believe you are experiencing. This editing process is perhaps most visible in our memory. We often treat our past like a library of video files that we can replay with perfect accuracy. The biological reality is different. Every time you recall an event, your brain reconstructs the entire scene from scratch rather than playing back a recording. During this act of recall, the memory becomes temporarily unstable. It is physically vulnerable to being updated or changed by the environment you are in right now. As the brain rebuilds the scene, it seamlessly integrates your current emotions and beliefs into the old event, often rewriting how you felt at the time. To make the memory easier to store, the brain also discards complex or contradictory details, sharpening the story into a simpler, more cohesive narrative. This can go as far as creating false memories, entirely fabricated events that feel just as vivid and real as any actual experience. Because memory is a constant process of reconstruction, your personal history is less of a fixed record and more of a working draft that is updated every time you look back. The brain applies these same editing techniques to your present-day choices. Every hour, you are navigating a massive network of simultaneous inputs and decisions. To handle this volume, the brain uses cognitive biases, shortcuts bypassing the slow process of rational thought. While logic checks multiple variables, a bias fast-tracks from decision to action. These shortcuts cause irrational outcomes, like buying unneeded items or forming snap judgments. By prioritizing these rapid shortcuts, your brain often commits you to a choice before you've had the chance to consciously weigh the facts. Curious, this raises a question. Why would the human brain evolve to systematically distort the world and rely on flawed shortcuts? Ultimately, it all comes down to energy. While the brain is only about 2% of your body weight, it consumes roughly 20% of your daily calories. As this chart shows, the brain is an energy hog. Processing every detail of reality logically has an unsustainable caloric cost. To survive, the brain enters energy-saving mode, limiting data and ignoring background details to keep the caloric burn manageable. In this mode, the brain prioritizes speed and efficiency over absolute accuracy. It uses pattern matching, guessing what is happening based on a few key details, rather than conducting a deep, logical analysis of every situation. The brain's lies aren't malfunctions. They are evolutionary survival tactics designed to keep you functioning without burning through your energy reserves. These biological trade-offs show up in our daily friction. They are why two people can witness the same event and walk away with two different versions of what definitely happened. Since these shortcuts are baked into our biology to save calories, we can't simply flip a switch and turn them off. However, the perspective shifts when you begin to treat your perceptions as hypotheses rather than absolute truths. By recognizing where the brain typically cuts corners, you can identify the fog of a bias as it's happening. Understanding these structural flaws allows you to pause and double-check your reactions, moving from an automatic response to a conscious choice. Subscribe for more insights into the hidden mechanics of the human mind.